was more difficult than the Russians had ever imagined.
Well, the problem's really unique. You know, there'd been a restaurant there for years and years, and we said, well, we're putting in a different restaurant. We need more energy. And they said, well, no, just plug in your equipment. We said, we need 4 times the power. And we ended up having to trench through downtown Moscow for about 1 kilometer and build substations along the way. And so it'd be problems like that with power, with water, but eventually they all got resolved. But it was a lot of scrapping for a while.
In North America, graduation was near for the 4 Russian managers, and training had begun for 26 newly arrived assistant managers. Their exposure to the West would change their lives forever.
I don't want to sound too fancy, but you know what this joint venture is also doing is, in a way, very supportive of perestroika. It's changing people's lives over the course of months. They've learned a new language. They've learned about that big world out there. They've learned about other cultures. I think their value systems have changed. I think this is one of the greatest exercises in manpower development that I've ever seen.
At Hamburger University in Oak Brook, Illinois, the 4 manager trainees received their degrees in hamburgerology. They all made the dean's honor list, but Kamzat was top in his class and was later named head manager of the McDonald's in Pushkin Square. At a press conference just before their return home, they expressed their eagerness to meet the toughest challenge of all, taking what they had learned and making it work in the Soviet Union.
Good time, great taste at McDonald's.
As the newly trained managers arrived back in Moscow, it was time to begin hiring their Russian crew. McDonald's placed a one-time ad in a Moscow newspaper that read, "Wanted, workers for the new McDonald's restaurant, Pushkin Square." 630 jobs were available. Day after day, applications flooded in. In all, McDonald's received over 27,000 applications. The potatoes had grown well over the summer despite the lack of irrigation, and harvesting had begun. Yields had been increased by almost 100%. It appeared that the farms would produce enough potatoes to meet the demand for McDonald's fries. The joint venture finally seemed to be working well, and each partner was learning from the other. By now, the restaurant was very near completion. The last member of the new crew had been hired. Teaching a new crew of 630 was the next major task. For them, learning to work in a Western restaurant was full of surprises.
We showed them that working for a Western company is not always necessarily glitter and glitz. We stressed the importance of working together as a team, but keeping our floors clean, our windows clean, preparing our food correctly, and serving our customers quickly and courteously and with a smile. But one of the most important points they learned during their training is that work can be fun, especially when we work together as a team.
The new crew members practiced for opening day, taking orders and filling them correctly. Speed was essential. They were timed to make sure they could fill each order in 60 seconds or less. But their most important lesson was learning to be courteous and to serve customers with a smile, something that's unique in Moscow.
Bye-bye, have a nice day.
Thank you, please come again. Right, great job.
The complex was now finished and taking deliveries. The production lines were in operation. Even the French fries measured up to McDonald's standards. Every hour at full capacity, the plant can produce 10,000 beef patties, 14,000 buns, thousands of pounds of French fries, and 5,000 apple pies. Everything needed for a complete McDonald's menu is being made here and sent to the new restaurant. As final preparations are being made, the huge influence of the joint venture is being felt throughout the Soviet system. It's brought new technology and a fresh way of doing business. It's had an enormous impact on Soviet agriculture, and it has provided a small but very real taste of capitalism. The dream is about to be realized. Tomorrow is opening day. January 31st, 1990. The first McDonald's in Moscow glows in the pre-dawn darkness of Pushkin Square. Curious citizens peek in the windows and study the lighted menu. Lines slowly begin to form in anticipation of the opening. Inside, crew members mop the floors, wash windows, and finish getting into uniform. People came from all over the Soviet Union, each for a special reason.
Я вообще приехала только сегодня ночью.
Желание побывать за границей, не выезжая из Москвы.
Most have no idea what to expect, so crew members hand out pamphlets that explain the food and how to order it. And unlike many stores in the Soviet Union, this one takes only rubles, so everyone can buy food here.
Хорошая идея. Это же прекрасно. У нас такого еще не было в стране.
Inside, last-minute preparations are being made. The crew is excited and ready to begin. News teams from around the world are here to record the extraordinary event. As the opening draws closer, the crowds outside build until there are almost 5,000 people waiting for their first taste of the West. "14 years in the making and the work of hundreds of people, the moment has finally come." Children from a local orphanage lead the way, and then crowds of Soviet citizens pour in. The crew members greet customers with smiles and patience, and the customers smile in return. The new McDonald's in Moscow was headline news throughout the world.
Muscovites queued for hours today to taste the delights of fast food when McDonald's opened their first restaurant in the Soviet Union.